Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is July 22nd, 2015, and today is Wednesday. So looking at the economic calendar today, really just two numbers coming out. We have an official bank rate coming out of England at 10:30 this morning, and then later this evening, 11 p.m. South African time, we have a New Zealand rate change that is coming out tonight. So if you're up during that time and you're trading, then could be some good moves in the New Zealand dollar. Looking at the markets today, I hate to say it and I hate to be right, but here we did it again. We hit the support level, and these are numbers you could backtrack on some of my previous market reviews and see that these lines I've put up, okay, by myself. And we did this, when was it? 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, even a month ago. But we put up these potential support and resistance lines, and it's amazing how well it's worked out. So it comes to show you that when you put these potential support lines and resistance lines and you put in a trade based on these, you have more conviction than you see that it's actually working out. So 108.26, we set up a support line several times because we hit it right here previously, and we challenged it right back here in sometime in April, and we broke it sometime in March. So this was a pivotal point for us, just because we had hit it once before on the resistance and then on the support line, and then I put it down just as a potential support line. And as you can see here, we bounced off of it yesterday. We breached it a little bit, 108.08, but altogether, if you built into this support line and you put yourself a nice stop loss, just below it, you wouldn't have been hit, and you would have made this money. And it's 150 pips on the upside. We rallied from here to here. Now the question is, are we going to continue rallying? Now somebody might argue, look, the markets went down, the Dow Jones went down, all these things happen to play, but they play with each other, okay? We're living in a global market where the currencies are now trading with the markets, and I think today more than ever we're seeing that being hand in hand. Previously, to about 15 years ago, you weren't able to see the Forex market, and nobody cared about the Forex market about 15 years ago unless you were an institutional buyer. And even then, unless you were borrowing in another currency and paying it back in another currency, it was it was not a retail market, let's just say. And today, since you have the advent of all the Forex brokers in the markets, this really comes into play, and you could see how some of these institutional buyers actually made money on the long side. So looking here at the Dow Jones, we had a big sell-off yesterday, about 180 points, mostly contributed to IBM's missing its earnings and Apple hitting its earnings, but forecasting maybe a little bit lower. Not sure where that's going to go in the forefront. Apple and IBM are really the forefronters of the markets in the United States. Apple being one of the largest companies, or the largest company listed in the United States. So, we had a big sell-off here, but again, we had a resistance line right up here at 18.53, and kicking myself in the back for not taking this a little bit short over the past couple of days and just building this position. And as you can see here, it could have made a good sum of money, okay, on this retracement. So, where are we going to go from here? We may bounce, okay. It might not be it could be just a overreaction, because some of the other companies like Google and Facebook are actually showing some that they're breaking out. Amazon is still very strong. Some of the online retailers are still very strong, and those are what's driving the market in the United States. So, all in all, we had a retracement in the Dow Jones, but is it a bear market? Is it going to go down to 15,000? Not within the next couple of days, okay? We may see some more side movements, and we may see these challenges, on the upside and the downside, just to test the waters. So we're right now in the middle, so I would hold off, maybe buy a little bit just to see if it's going to bounce hard to recover from yesterday, which is very indicative of these type of markets. As you can see here, we've had extreme moves on the downside and on the upside. So, anytime we have these extreme moves, it's really incumbent upon us to really realize that it could be a turning point on the other direction. So it might be a turning point for the downside on the long run, but it might not happen today or tomorrow. Looking at the GBP USD, we're really just trading. We sold off on 156. We're trading in the middle of that right now, so I don't expect much coming out of the GBP USD. A little bit of a rally, okay, not much, to write home about. Between the GBP USD, I think the euro is a little bit easier to trade these days. But with what's coming out today, I'll keep an eye on it. Looking at the gold really breaking down at 1094. Okay, we kind of mentioned this the other day. We broke this 1138 and we broke all the way down to 1170. We kind of short covered here to 1115, and then we're just selling off right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we break 1,000 before the end of the year. What's really carrying the gold down? Investors are putting their money more into equities, as you can see, and thereby disbalancing the commodity. So on the long, I'm pretty short gold. I think the cat is out of the bag, and it's clear that it's breaking down. The question is, on the long side, how far down could it go? So at 1047, looks like there's a little bit of a I don't know if you call that support. On 1047, there's a little bit of a retracement. Surely, I would say at 1,000. Okay, 1,000 would be a very major threshold. So if we do break 1,000, I think we could hit back to 800. And this is very humbling returns for people who are heavily invested in gold, because we were hovering about 3 years ago at 1,900. Okay, so we're almost half of that after 3 years of investments. So that's a big retracement for the gold. Looking at the Aussie USD, we're still in our lows, 0.74, 151, as you can see here. How far can we go lower? We can still go lower to 70. Okay, the question is are we going to go that far? Dollar seems like it's tapering off from its strength earlier in the week, so it's a question of whether or not there's going to be some resiliency with the dollar. This is Razak at CMTrading. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.